Hello everyone, so welcome back to this channel once again, and in this video session I'll discuss brief introduction to fully free statements in RPGLE AS400. Let me start with some examples here. So here in this video we will discuss all the statements uh, uh, which are used with respect to the fixed format specifications available in RPG. So let me search for few of them few of few examples. So here is the example which you can see. So first important thing which we consider while writing the fully free source is star star free directive, that is always written on the first line, first column, and rest of the line will be blank. The second important thing is, uh, if we are writing the fully free source, uh, the slash free and slash and free directive is ignored. So if you use that, there's no meaning of using that. The third important thing is, if you write fully free code under star star free directive, then the compiler assumes that all the source will be uh, written in fully free format, and so it won't consider that positions in that case, and it will consider everything as a fully free except for the few things like CT data, the compiled end data, that is file translation records, and the alternate collating sequence. So these are some things which are written at the end of source. And another important thing here is every line you can see is end with the semicolon in the fully free RPG source. Um, Another important point here is eval call p. Um, these statements are these keywords are these are the opcodes basically. So these opcodes are optional to use in fully free. Again, the statements like DCL-SUBF for declaring the subfield of the DS, DCL-PARM for declaring the parameters of the prototype are optional. So they are optional to use. Now there are some uh, statements which are used with respect to the specifications available. Like for H specs, we have DCL-OPT in fully free. So for declaring the F specs, we have DCL-F, DCL-F in fully free. For declaring the data definitions, we have uh, uh, few more things. Like for declaring the constant, we have DCL-C. For declaring the uh, standalone variable, we have DCL-S. For declaring the DS, we have DCL-DS. So you can see the DS is used here. For declaring a prototype, we have DCL-PR. Uh, for a procedure, we use DCL-PROC, and that's all. So here you can see what all things are available to use. In separate videos we'll discuss each and everything separately. So here you can see I'm declaring DS using DCL-DS. This is the name of the DS. These are the subfields. So you can see that DCL-SUBF is optional to use, so I'm not using this here. This is the end of DS, end dash DS. So again, another DS. Now this is the prototype definition, which says that it calls the external program, and these are the input parameters. So DCL-param is optional to use, so I'm not using it here. The next thing is DCL-S. So you can see the variables are declared using DCL-S, and these are common uh, C specs, calculation specs things where you can see val is optional to use, and this is called p is optional to use, so we are calling the procedure. And last, setting the last record indicator to on. uh, Let me search for some other examples which are available at my end. So here again you can see this is declaring the prototype for QSND-DTA API, which is calling the external program. These are the input parameters to this API, and this is, you can see, the input parameters to this program itself, that is the entry parameters here. So DCL-PI and PI we use, and this is star n because this is for the program itself, so I'm not giving any name here. These are the input parameter which I accept. This is the call of this API, and at last you can see C specs keywords. So again you can see that the declare DCL-PR for declaring the prototype for this procedure, and the input parameters for this one, we don't need the name while defining the prototype, so here star n is used. You can see DCL-PI, that is the input parameters to this program, will take them here, and n-pi. So here you can see declaring the variable and declaring the constant, calling the APIs, and all those things for the C specs. Let me search for some other. So here you can see I'm declaring the file using the DCL-F, and also declaring some uh, file information data structure using INDDS here. This is the data structure declared, and these are the C specs keyword which are known to you. So you can see here we use basically the DS one. So this is the example of an external nullly described DS on a file. Exe name this one. So this is the file declared and DCL-DS. So you can see this is a nested data structure which is declared in the fully free, that is DCL-DS, then DCL-DS inside that DCL-DS DS1, and the first end of data structure and the second one. So there are different ways of declaring the data structure which you can see here. This is declaring the file and the data structure here, that is the file information data structure. So you can see all these things, declaring the variables. See, this is the DS. I'm checking if I have any other example for you. So here all are DS. Let me check. again the DS one, DS and the variables. So this way you have seen many statements which I have used in some of the programs. Um, so I'll be discussing them again in separate videos in detail so that you have an uh, hands-on on all of them to use them in the program and start writing the fully free code. So that's all in this video. Thank you and